Good morning. Thank you for keeping it Citizen Television. Social Hour begins right now. Asante sana. It is Tuesday and we are happy to be back, and we are also happy that you created time to join us for this conversation that we are going to have today. We are talking about emotions. Usikuwa emotional, ushasikia ukiambiwa hivyo. But sometimes inakuanga vizuri kukuwa emotional, especially if you're in love, especially if you're in a relationship. Today we want to look at the dynamics of emotions and how men and women view it, and this whole big conversation around emotional neglect and how it impacts a relationship. Karibu sana, and we'd like to hear your thoughts. And I have with me the panel of eminent experts. Kuna mmoja hapa nimejaribu kumtuliza. Yani watu wa manio watu kupumuele. We will not move on. Baka leo alikuwa na suggest let's just talk about Manu. Let's talk about the game. Nikamwambia please.
Ilikuwa jana.
Ni social hour. You can't talk about football.
Guys, come on. But let's just say Manchester United.
Swim in your glory.
Tuseme tu Manchester United is the biggest club.
Sindio?
Imebidi nivae red because nilikuwa nataka kuvaa jazi. By the way, jana karibu nikupigia nikuulize nivae jazi ya red. Nikaona na overdo, si poa by the way. So Manchester United fans, good morning. How are you feeling this morning? I hope you're good, and we did not come to play, okay? We came to teach people a lesson.
Na vitu mingi zimehapa by the way hapo
Cheki, CBC
kuna mambo ya great.
Kuna kitu ya maana
delegates conference.
But before tuanze show kuna kitu ya maana umesema we are not here to do what?
Hiyo tumesema.
But anyways, big up Mr. Josh, of course ako on. Big up Roberta Bobby, ako kwa nyumba ametulia na tu watch. Amesema ataki kutupatia homa. So big up Bobby, big up my dad and my mom and my best friends. My mom's best friend, yeah.
All right. Roberta is all cozy and ametupigia picha, ametutumia hapo na kwambia girl is feeling nice, very comfortable. And tunakutumia shout out. Ken, karibu.
Mimi nitauliza kitu moja.
Ken pole, and let's just move on.
No, hii kiburi yote
ya nini tena?
Ya watu wa Manu. But they do know isipokuwa QT.
The show is not about Manu.
Isipokuwa QT. Hakuna fan wa Manu akona more than one jersey ya Manu. Unless waifue ikauke wavae tena. So from kesho zitakuwa obsolete kwa streets.
Bado mtuko kwa Manu. But uko aje?
Mimi niko sawa, mko poa?
I'm good.
Okay, hata mimi salamu mingi sana. I spent the week with leaders from the church, training them on Saturday, and it was an awesome time for me. Na watu wote walikuwa na ukienda Tuesday utasalimia, so wasalimike wote. Na mimi nakwambia ngaisho iko na mafans. Not only does it have fans, ile kitu that the most constant thing naambiwa, we are really educating the masses, and for me that's an humbling experience that people can watch us so that they can learn. It tells quite a lot, and I am happy. May we continue doing the same for our people.
Right. Yeah, the year is coming along nicely. It's been kind to all of us, and we hope you're learning wherever you are, you're growing, and you are, making your relationships better and correcting your mistakes. And if you have suggestions, of any issue you want us to discuss, of any question that you have that has been bugging you, please just tuma at Citizen TV Kenya so that we can make this show all about you, Pia. Sindio, we all learn, we all grow. Karibu sana, CJ Atemo. Good to see you.
Good to see you. How are you doing?
I'm good. Before you came, actually, walikuwa wanajaribu kuni-convince, let the show be about Manu. What do you think? Let's change it. Let's change it.
He's a loser fool.
He's on cloud 9. I know she's so excited. But of course, Ken would be excited as well a bit.
Yeah.
What about you?
Liverpool.
No, we didn't have a good game on Saturday. That was crazy. Somehow, I normally get to sense when we're not very good. So I kept on watching this game. We're past the 90th minute. I'm like, I'm not very convinced. Then they did that thing to me.
95.
So, yeah.
But we are here, we are alive, that tunapumua.
Yeah.
Bora tunapumua.
By the way, Safin, do you have a team you support?
I told you my team. You want me to repeat?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, please do.
Furahia timu yako.
With the way Manu and everything is happening, wacha kwanza nisome rada nijue.
Oh, yeah, nauna team. Watu wa Wolves.
Safin is an investor.
So guys, today we want to talk about emotional neglect. And people have been asking, is it even a thing? The way you can show up in a relationship in so many other ways, and you feel like, si nimekufanyia kila kitu. Ni nini tena tunaulizana? And I want us to talk about and debunk this thing, emotions, and how men and women view it. Tuanzie wacha nisianzie wanawake. Wanasemanga we run with this, we take it, inakaa ni sisi. Wacha tu, let's get into the mind of a man and how the man interprets emotions. Na kwanza mko na hiyo word kwa vocabulary yenyu tuanzie hapo.
There's a myth. There's a myth and a misconception that has ran over eons and so many years that men don't have emotions. Men have emotions. The only thing men don't have is how to express the emotions. Actually, not even many men know how they are supposed to feel. We don't know what we are supposed to feel. We don't know how we are supposed to express our feelings, but it is because of where we've come from. There's a psychological term to this, the lack of acknowledging your feelings or unable to understand your feelings. In psychology, we call it alexithymia.
Okay.
Yeah, alexithymia is that inability to sense how you're feeling. However, does not mean that men don't have emotions.
Alexithymia.
Alexithymia. From the word Alex and then I. No, it's it's an topic altogether. Alexithymia. Yeah, that yes, the emotions are there, but you can't even understand them. You know, many men feel that when you're expressing your feelings, you are actually showing off your feminine side. Because growing up, men will be told that having those emotions, crying, expressing yourself, it would make many men be bullied or be stigmatized because of how they are expressing themselves. And you would hear terminologies of stop behaving like a girl, wacha umama. And so many men. It is actually on Saturday I got into some trouble because I used that example of men and how they are told wacha umama, and women think that this is an abuse. It's not an abuse per se. It's a man being told that there are some things, there's some differences between masculinity and femininity. That for you as a masculine man, you must not express. And you know, it's not us, it's how culturally we were raised up. Weenda kwa wanaume. Why are you spending time with women? Yeah, why do you want to be a chatterbox like women? Why don't you go and man up? You know, those terminologies.
So the emotions are there.
The emotions are there. What we go through is a psychological state called fixation. We are fixed. And so naturally, men fix issues, women process issues. Yeah?
All right. Watch us CJ pick from there. Men are fixers. By the way, we want to understand, because the whole aspect of emotional availability has been interpreted differently from both you know, the men and the women. So from the men's perspective, ongezea tu kenye Ken amesema men are fixers. But he has admitted that it's not that they don't have emotions. They do. Actually, they feel all these things, all these processes they go through, but just what society has taught them and how they have been exposed or wired to live is what may make us see that they are not showing up emotionally. So I don't know what your understanding also is on that.
Well, it's just generally a conditioning then, because you see, even just among boys, for example, when they're playing, because of hearing those biases and prejudices, you will find if 2 boys, 3 boys, 4 are playing, and they're out there playing football, let me say one of them gets hurt and begins to cry, even kids at that age will speak to them in a certain way. They'll start, you know, bullying them, or they'll troll them for being like a girl. So at that age, how do they even know that, you know? So what happens is that the emotional expression is shamed. So then men begin to, they begin to connect their emotions to shame. Because when you express yourself in a certain way, you're shamed about it, whether you are crying or you're feeling pain or you're doing something. So that element is carried on into adulthood, where you feel that if you express yourself in a certain way, then that is very shameful for you. And you'll find some men, when they need to break down, they'll hide. When they're weak, they will hide. They want to express the emotion, not even that they don't express it, but they won't do it in public. because they're overwhelmed by it. Emotions are things that you carry with you. The flip side is that when those emotions then are inverted, when they're not expressed, then they're inverted into something else. So somebody may invert something as simple as, not as simple rather, sorry, but somebody may take something as basic as grief and it turns into anger. You know, because it was never dealt with. So it will express itself, but differently, because they're trying to manage the expression of this thing, and he doesn't want it to come from the point of weakness. So it comes through something that he thinks is a strength, because there are those emotions whose expressions we think are strength, like
so they are
anger.
Avoiding the negative attachment of emotion.
Yes, and the weakness, perceived weakness of it and the shame of it. So it's easier to become angry. Some of the people who are bullies are just people who never dealt with their emotions. And they want to release that and express it, and they think that if they bully you, they look strong. So they don't have to deal with the shame of weakness. Some of the people who get violent are just people who did not know how to handle certain emotions like pain, even just those things like shame that they were taken through. And so they come, it is inverted, it will be expressed in a different way that makes them feel that they are powerful. And if they have a cheer squad that makes them feel that whatever they are doing makes them strong, you know, you're bullying people and people feel like you're this king, you're this mafia boss and lord around that place.
Macho man.
You begin to feed on it. So men do have emotions. They do have, and they do express emotions in certain spaces. So they are conditioned to express acceptable emotions in whatever space. And then now, because in the domestic front, for example, because we were not permitted, not conditioned, not expected to show the softer ones, the feminine emotions, we really normally don't know how to behave. Not because we don't want to, we don't know how to behave. You know, you don't know whether you should hug, hold, you don't know whether PDA is acceptable, you never saw it anywhere. It is easier to bring a gift than
get
do
involved in the emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, and then probably the men that you have seen in the society are people who would come and sit on their throne, you know, those seats of the patriarchs in the family, and be emotionless, watching TV, reading newspapers. Quietly, and when they come in, everybody scatters
in their rooms.
So you come in, and when you start relating, probably with your wife, you even go into a community, and they're like, what kind of a man is this one becoming? So that pressure will again bring the element of shame to this person. So I think we do have them. We just have to express them where they're acceptable.
Right. Cutie, from your perspective, wanawake utaka nini? Because
that's the big question.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I should have a notebook right now.
What do women want? I mean, huyu mtu amehustle, amerauka asubuhi, amechomwa na jua, amejinyima lunch, amefanya everything. And I feel like amekupatia the life that you want. Now you're representing the women. Wanataka nini tena? You're still complaining, telling this man you're not available, you're not showing up, sijui nini, you're not spending time with us. What do women want?
I think people complicate things because it's simple.
Yeah.
I mean, wanasemaga ati they show that big book of what women want, and then they
and it's volume 1.
Volume 1. I think what we should be asking is what the men want.
Volume 8 is not out yet.
Yetu ni rahisi. It's mostly emotions. We want to feel wanted. We want to feel loved. Tutaka kuonyeshwa emotions. You understand? Like you need a person to be there for you. You need to be seen. You need them to hear what you're saying. Because most times utapata dem akisema hata unisikizangi, hata unielewi, hata you know, things like those. But you'll find most times, and this I've even heard on this show from CJ mostly, he'll say like, when you tell a man something, they won't answer you immediately. They take their time. But sasa sisi tuwatakanga, nikikuuliza hiyo swali,
jibu sasa.
Nikuulize, sasa babe, why did you cheat on me? So I expected...
Pandora's. You're opening a Pandora's, eh?
Okay, nimepeana tu example. Nilikuwa tu example, guys. So unexpect ukiuliza swali kama hiyo, you want an immediate answer. Ama, where were you last night? Why were you late coming home? You know, we ask such questions and tunataka immediate answers. Always women we want, nikikuuliza hivi nataka unijibu, but a man will never give you that answer at that particular point. Yeye anataka kutake time yake, ndio by the time akujibu, anajua ni nini anakuambia, una get. So sometimes we just want hiyo kusikizwa sana sana. Most of the time, nataka tu mse anisikize. Nataka anipende, nataka anipe attention. Oh, women will love attention, guys. Like women will love attention. Na sio ile attention ati yenye tuna fight for. Ile tu nionyeshe, like uko hapo babe, unaka smart compliments. In the morning when I wake up.
Tutakula lini?
We will not eat that.
Nikwambie. Mumeniuliza tunataka nini, ndio nawaambia. Tunataka kuambia asubuhi. Imagine asubuhi tumeamka na babe. Ajaniambia hata anything, hata na kafiti. Alafu niende job nikuje hapa akina Timondi hao akina CJ na Kapwa kitu. I'm like, kwani huo mwenye nilitoka kwa hao
ana macho
hakuona mashida ni gani, tumpeleke hosi ama, you know, you understand. So it's those simple things in life. Yani tunatakanga hizo vitu very simple in life, but I think for the men, vile they have explained it, it's always about providing. Sikatai, we also need hiyo kuprovide. At the end of the day, mesema tuna need kukula food, tuna need hizo vitu zote, but every woman, let me say this, every woman, kuna ile kitu yenye every woman atakanga, there is that well-stable woman mwenye akona pesa yake, akona kila kitu yake, maybe anataka tu companionship.
Let me ask you, in practical sense,
yes.
So you've gone through a very bad day, kuna tu issues zime happen, you come, you explain it to your man, and this man goes like, oh, so,
Sasa utadu.
Would you rather have that? Babe, nimepitia like kama mtu amenipiga, wamechukua sijui nini, wameniibia simu, akiwoye, akikama.
Seriously?
Would you rather have that?
Guys, nataka hiyo, nataka kuhagiwa. Mimi nataka, look guys, nataka hiyo emotional. I want a man. For me actually, me personally as QT, because these guys, they hide. No, staki sad to do. Don't get me wrong, staki sad to do. But these men, they're very good at hiding behind emotions. Now, wame explain vizuri, hata si need kuingia ati ku-explain. Wameisema vizuri tena sana. It's the way they've been brought up. Like, mbono unaonyesha emotions. Kwani we ni dem, ukianguka boy anaambia wewe simama, mbono unataka kulia. Ati a man is not supposed to cry. A man is not supposed to show emotion. On the other hand, I need a man that naona emotions zake, nataka kujua uchali ana feeling nini asubuhi akiamka. What is he feeling? Why should I do the wild goose chase? Why should I have to guess? How is he feeling? Oh babe, unafilaje leo? Uko aje leo? I don't want to ask. I just want to see and feel this man. Nataka tu kumfeel kabisa, nataka kujua ile time yako down. Like when he's really having a bad day, I need to know if my man is having a bad day. Nataka kujua yeye behave aje akikuwa na a bad day. Nataka pia mimi time yenye nakuwa na bad day na
break down na kujali.
Nataka exactly. Cheki Safin, I need to see that from a man.
Okay.
I need to see my man break down. I need to see him when he's at his lowest. Nataka kuona akiwa at his lowest and at his highest. Okay. Sasa tutashindaga tu hapa tumeona tu ako tu sawa ati yeni man vile CJ amesema ati mafia boss nini. No, please. Anaweza kuwa anatafuta do but ako emotional. Msi confuse hizo vitu mbili. Anaweza kuwa anaenda anatafuta do, ana provide, but at the same time ako emotional. Na kuko emotional is not such a bad thing. Kuonyesha emotion, kwani ni kitu mbaya? Seeing a man cry, is it such a bad thing, guys? Like, is it really that bad? Ati hatutaki kuona wanaume wakilia. Kwa nini? I want to be there for him. Ile temenya analia, ile temenya machozi, I want to be there for him. Ndio nijue zile vitu zina trigger huyu mwanaume. I want to create a safe space for my man. Okay, guys? Okay. Tafadhali. Yes, I need to
unasikia venye QT anaifanya.
Wewe roho kabisa ongea. Because men, by the way, ndo swali watu uliza, what do women want? Wanawake wanataka nini? Umemfanyia msichana kila kitu. Ni nini badala kusumbua?
You know QT is creating an environment that doesn't exist.
What are you talking about? No, don't say that.
It's called utopia.
Don't water down what I say.
Utopia is a world that exists in the mind but will never be there.
Who's utopia?
Because what QT is describing is the ideal situation. But who is this ideal man? Let me tell you, except a lady who is dating or married to a third born in a family. That's the only man who is expressive, as she's saying.
Oh, third born. Really?
Only third
It's
borns.
a thing.
It's a thing.
Oh my God.
It's only third borns who are very expressive. Third borns, quickly, first born takes after the character of a father. So naturally, fathers must be outgoing and very thorough with everything they do. Second borns take after the feelings of the mother. Mothers are very emotional. They attach a lot of emotions to it. So third borns are confused in the situation. Do I take after my father or do I take after my mother? So they express it to themselves. And when they have somebody they can express to, so they open up their hearts. And that's another thing altogether. Men hate a sense of losing control or being vulnerable, especially to women. For fear of being hurt or what might come after that. You open up yourself to somebody and the same person hurts you and you don't want to express it to any other person. The first favorite girl to a man's place is not even the mother, it's usually the sister. And wakikosana na sister yake and the sister decides kuropoka and tell everybody the first love of this man has hurt him. Then you go to the mother. A mother who is unable to contain it, and she will tell the father, all in the hope of teach your son how to man up. Now, you've been betrayed. Do you want to lose your control with a third person? A stranger who has come to your house?
This is the third party.
Actually, yes.
Oh, this is
Very serious.
very serious.
But it is the truth.
Here we are the queens
I think
of that
number
world.
3.
That's the truth.
And the daughter, you've not even talked.
Yes, now imagine, no, the daughters, and that's the main reason why daughters will really go to their fathers and know that this is the only man they can be able to trust in this world.
The question I wanted to understand, maybe CJ, you can come in. When QT was talking about what from a woman's perspective, emotional availability looks like, when a lady demands these things or when she expects these things or when she complains about them, does it mean that the man is not listening or they don't want to provide or they don't see that she's beautiful or they don't see that they need to be telling her nice things, to be, you know, hugging her, being
You know, I think there's usually just a breakdown in communication because most times those expectations are not really expressed. It's an expectation that has not been expressed or has not been expressed that this is how I feel appreciated or this is how I know that you are present. I could be sitting over there and listening to what you're saying and you still feel unheard because you had an expected outcome out of that. Probably you thought that I should just listen through and go through the emotions and the emotions with you, and after we are done, we hug and finish. But myself and Ken talked about it, that we are fixers. I may be listening, and then I begin offering solutions. So the woman feels she's not being heard. She's like, I wasn't looking for solutions. I just wanted to be heard.
I just wanted those,
but the man
oh, really?
But I've heard you.
I know, right?
I've heard you. That's why I am trying to create solutions so that we fix this, it will never happen again. So it's the wavelengths that we are in. And to assume that we know what you want is the beginning of issues, because we don't. The moment you bring something to us, understand that we operate like CEOs. That's why it's even difficult to break down in front of you, because Safin, you don't expect your CEO
you are president.
to you.
No.
It's the truth.
You don't expect that you've gone into this meeting, your board meeting, and then the CEO breaks down and tells you guys, we are having a real tough time with the company. We're not doing very well. We don't know what the shareholders are going to. You don't need that. You don't expect that. And not because they don't feel it, but because they are your symbol of hope and strength. So they don't know whether you can actually contain it, you know. And even mothers will most of the time try to hide when they're breaking down from their kids, because what will this thing do to the kid if they see that their symbol of strength and pillar is crumbling, how will they process that? So she would rather take that somewhere else, somebody who can handle it. And generally, that's what men would feel. They wouldn't want to show this, not because they are hiding, but because they are protecting these people. They don't want these people to begin to give up. I once was visiting somebody in hospital, and his son was standing by the window facing out over there. And the man told me, do you know why that boy is standing over there looking outside this whole time you've been here? I said, no. He said, because he can't see me like this. He cannot see that man like that. And this is the reality of most men, because you cannot reconcile. This is your hero. This is your man, your leader. So sometimes when he's not breaking down in front of you or weighing you down with the issues they're going through, the stresses, they're trying to protect you.
Oh, okay.
They're trying to protect you so that you don't also begin to take the pressure of whatever is coming in. If your man is going to tell you auctioneers are coming in tomorrow, most times, as much as ladies will say, I want to be there for you and feel what you're feeling.
Flight. Flight mode.
He gets it though. He gets it though.
But kitu namsikia.
Namsikia, but amesema anaelewa. I want to be there
you're
for
asking for it. Are you ready to
For
take
it.
Personally, as QT I am.
Are you a first born?
Najiongelelea. No, I'm
QT,
not
you're
a
a
first
first
born.
born.
I'm a second last.
No, today Safin said you're speaking for everybody.
So women are asking men to be vulnerable, to tell them about their...
But we can't.
Are you ready to receive such a man?
Kababa.
Safin, sorry, haven't you seen, even just as a lady, if you're this strong person who's always there for people, let's say you're going through a tough time, you'll realize that the people you normally show up for don't know what to do with you.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Not that they don't want to be there, they don't know how to show up because you're always the strong one.
Yeah.
So when a man is coming in home, so they've broken down, they've lost their job, their business is not working, things have gone haywire and stuff, and then he comes in and is breaking down over there. What are people supposed to do? And this is why we are built differently. So we are built in a way that we can contain certain kind of pressure, and the man needs to find an outlet elsewhere, probably among other men or mentors or different people, so that by the time he's coming in here, the pressure is lower. Now, I can tell you about what happened after it has happened. After we've solved it, then I can say, well, you know that time?
We almost lost the house.
Yeah.
We all...
Yeah, that is a bit better. But
I like that. Me want you
But
to
it's
tell
still
me,
Safin.
by the babe, do you know we almost lost this?
Yeah.
I almost lost that car.
But let me tell you, Safin,
But I did this and I fixed it, and then there you go. That's
the reason why.
I want that.
But Safin, you see, that's the reason why,
Yeah.
sorry to use this example, but that's the reason why we're having so many suicide cases from men zinakuja kutoka kwa naume. Why? Ask yourself why.
Yeah.
It's because men don't open up, even to man. CJ amesema wanataka hata kwenda kukaa hivyo na wanaume wenzao, but sometimes they don't even open up to their fellow men because they are afraid. They're like, what if wataniona ni kama ni vibaya? Tutumie example lingine ya GBV. The men will never go to report it. Why are they not reporting these cases? Ataenda kwa police station, ataambiwa nini? Atakuwa ridiculed. Kwanza watacheka, wamwambie kwani wewe be a man. You understand? When mwanaume wa aina gani akienda kwa his fellow men, watamwambia the same thing, probably even laugh it off and say, hey, wewe enda udeal na hizo issues zako. Wewe pia wewe kwani wewe ni mwanamke, kwani wewe huwezi contain huyo mwanamke. You understand? And these are the things that person
talking as if we are them.
But we also don't know.
But ni ukweli, unacheki, what they are explaining is you're supposed to be seen as that person, as the CEO, as the man of the house. So you're not actually supposed to show any emotion. You're not supposed to break down. But now it breaks you down at a point, at a level whereby we saw the numbers when they came up. They said suicide in men has increased. Why? What's the reason why? These are the issues that the men are facing. The men, they don't want to face their issues. They don't want to talk. They don't want to tell anyone anything. So they end up doing what? Committing suicide. And it's a sad situation. And at the end of the day, I think this is something that we should go breaking. Let me not call it a curse or whatever, but hiyo ni kitu tunafaa kudeal nayo head on. Let me tell you, Safin, for me, I feel like a man, wacha kujianiambia. Mimi sitaki kuambia we almost lost the house no love, we are losing this, we are doing this. Ataenda achukue hizo madeni zake zote, tutabaki tukilipa nini? Deni. You hear men, mtu ameenda amechukua loan mahali alikuwa na try to save situation. I would have done it, but because you want to be seen as the man, because you want to salvage the situation, you get us in a bigger hole. You're digging up a hole for yourself instead of coming to your person, talking to them. Unaweza pata venye wanasemanga sisi madem tunakuanga kwa machama mingi, I can salvage the situation by the time you get back to your feet. Wacha kwenda kuchukua hizo malone, wacha kwenda kujistress. Unajistress nini na niko hapa? I am your person, you said in sickness and in health, man. What are you talking about? Mimi sielewi hawa wase. I don't understand.
Wacha nikuulize kitu.
What are you guys talking about?
Now the problem, there's a problem.
Ideal woman.
Ken is chuckling because he probably knows most times women have been told that.
Yes.
They have left.
Guys, come
Correct.
on. It's not that bad.
Let me tell you, we'll go back to the intro. The intro bit is women are process-based. That's why you want to be involved in the process. Well, sometimes the process is too tedious for a man to lose it.
Who say they can't handle it, Ken?
You can handle it.
Yeah.
Actually, we really appreciate the fact that women want to be involved. The problem is that they must understand the genesis up to the revelation part of it. Who has time to read all the 60-something books in between? We want to come up with an issue and fix it as soon as possible so that you can move to the next. The fact that a man does not involve the woman does not mean that the man does not respect and appreciate what the woman could have done. The problem is sometimes the women's emotional capacity to handle some pressures is so contained that they cannot be able to expand their container. Because you can only, unaanza kuambiwa auctioneers wanakuja, and the first thing is, unaanza kulia. Unalia badala tupate solution.
Ken hapana.
That's the truth. No, kidogo, cutie, kidogo. But there is also the other bit about it. Unalia juu ya auctioneers. Men, by the way, did you see how many men? Did you see how many men were resilient?
The emotions and then now you show up and support your man.
Nezalia lakini niko na hiyo donda sort of.
Did you see how many men were resilient when Corona came? How many men were able to, tumefunga kazi leo na kesho naweza fungua buti ya gari niuze sukuma wiki? How long did it take the women to process that? By the time they started realizing that actually the damages of Corona have started hitting us hard, the men had already become resilient and they had not even started using their money. The women were discussing chama inaweza tuokolea aje kwa hizi mambo ya Corona. Yeah? The men bounce back faster. Women will take time and we take it, that is it. Yeah. Now, CJ started at something I don't want to lose. The fact that how we communicate is different does not mean we do not communicate.
So now that you've said that, tell me, probably, what other ways do you show these emotions that QT was concerned about? Sisi had to read the cues.
We withdraw.
Like, I want to know I'm beautiful. I want to know I'm loved.
Okay, if anything changes from the time I told you you're beautiful, if anything changes, I'll tell you. As long as nothing has changed. It is called it's called
anaka beautiful. Unataka kuprove kama una emotion.
Ulitoka sala on Sunday.
Bro, you're not telling me that I look good now. Now I won't.
If I'm getting him, amesema as long as hajakwambia ukai poa, unajua unakaa poa.
QT, wacha nikuulize. QT, leo ni Tuesday.
Niambie kila siku.
QT, leo ni Tuesday. Ulitoka sala on Saturday na nikakwambia by the way you look beautiful in that new hairstyle. Until you change your hairstyle. Until you change that hairstyle.
December Christmas ujue.
Hapana.
So
it's called even in leadership we say ceteris paribus. All factors remaining constant. You are still the same person. You're still having the same hairstyle. No. And that's the thing, QT. Men,
2023 anafaa survive.
We don't do this here.
Ken,
we're not doing this.
Okay,
no.
we are not doing this. Again, calm down kidogo na tukubaliane kitu moja. One of the greatest psychologists of our time called Carl Rogers said, the reason human beings will always be disturbed is when their expectations are never met. lower the expectation of a man noticing that umekuwa ukimpatia pressure, nitumie hizi pesa za salon. Huyu salonist anasema tuko karibu kumaliza na hautumi. Unaona the pressure. Alafu una expect the same mtu umekuwa ukipea pressure na labda amekuwa akifuliza. If we were to do a data today.
Kehoma kuambia unakaa fiti.
If we were to do a data, ni wanaume wangapi saa hii wako na pressure juu wamelipa school fees, wamefanya hizo vitu zote na the lady here is not even noticing. She goes the direction of na ukumbuke tunafaa kuchange hii microwave this year. And then you remember there was rent, there is school, there is everything all related. Now we are on the 73rd day of January. Si tuko saa hii tumefika. Kidogo cutie. Kuna point sitaki kulose. Women communicate by talking. Men communicate by listening. And that's why most of the time, the person to tell the secret that you want to remain with just one person will be your husband, because they've listened and they have not said anything. But what do women want? Women want what we call in psychology the minimal prompts. The prompting of unataka aendelee. Hey, wacha nikwambie, Unaona, you want somebody to prompt you to continue with the story. Yeah? Na wanaume hatuna hiyo time. Juu sisi tuko na time ya cutie anasumbuliwa na co-host wa show yake. In my mind, have you talked? Oh, see, have you talked to the producer? Have you talked to the HR? Have you talked to the co-host? Unaona sisi, lakini cutie anataka guy. Kwani anafanyanga? That's the woman nature. Yeah?
CJ.
No, una overdo.
So anasema wanaume hawana hiyo time. So just because men pay rent and pay school fees and do all those things.
Thank you. Ask the question.
Surely.
You know.
So I'm to show up emotionally.
How to show up omekata.
But you know,
does that justify?
As Ken was speaking, then I'm thinking about do women generally show men that they care about this men's emotions? Because when a man is coming in, you're reminding him about the fees, they've got all these bills, they've got all of that they need to take care of. It is a general saying that most men will never be asked how they are, as long as they're paying the bills. So you actually create a template for this relationship, because the only time you're communicating is when bills need to be paid. And no matter how upset a woman is, when there's a bill to be paid, she will communicate without thinking about whether the person is okay or not. So this person then begins to learn how to handle his emotions alone, because he realizes he's not going to be taken care of emotionally. We need to talk about how men are also neglected emotionally.
So revenge.
No, it's not a revenge. It's not a revenge. And that's why when I started earlier on,
you're not showing up because at sisi had to show up. Or
I talked about conditioning. If I get to the place of not expecting you to think about my emotional well-being, I'll stop expecting that. If I'm used to you not thinking about whether I'm okay or not, you won't ask me how I am doing, whether things are better. If I told you last week business is not doing well, and then you come this week with a bill, you've not asked me whether business is picking up, that's communication. You're telling me something. You're telling me that you don't care. You didn't listen to me when I told you business is not doing well. And you know, men say that when you leave the house in the morning, it's a general saying, you can tell your wife that you don't have money, but at 10 a.m. they'll send you things that need to be bought. So even men feel like they're not being heard. Because in between
what does
here,
a woman need to do in such a scenario?
Understand.
You need to find out whether this person.
So nisiseme gas imeisha.
No.
So what am I supposed to
see? This
so
man is not coming from a machine. You need to have some empathy. It's not coming from a machine. If he didn't have money in the morning, you need to find out whether he does have. And then you need to find out whether there's something you can do as well, just to show that you have some interest in the person, not a text, sending a whole list, telling them about the things that are not there. And this man will be thinking, but I told you in the morning, I didn't have money. If there are people who are doing business, so by 10 o'clock, where has the money come from? If he's somebody on salary and you know that week they're not being paid, so he's thinking, so where did you expect this to come from? And that's when they begin to feel that they just get used. Now, you've said something, he's a man, he should figure it out. When we carry that nature into fixing stuff, then you say, I need somebody to understand me. I think there's no species under pressure like man.
The male species.
And that's why the suicide thing is coming up. Because this person is supposed to create miracles daily. And the emotions that we talk about that they need to express, we really don't care about how they feel. So somebody won't care about what it took this man to get that 2,000 shillings to send to his wife or to the girlfriend who wants to do her hair, whatever it is. The pressure Ken is talking about, she's in the salon and she expects this money. She doesn't care what this man has to do. So sometimes they've got to get into loans. Sometimes they've got to go into extra stuff, work even harder, try to pull deals, because he doesn't want to disappoint the person that is looking up to him. I think we have to make sure that men are well emotionally before we can even expect them to express their emotions. The moment we cut off the emotional wellness of men from the relationship, you can't expect them to show up emotionally.
We, amenirudishia tu hiyo blow, pa! Kasema, now it has to start from. Are the men, which your blow? Me, I'm not taking it alone.
Listen, guys.
So we have very few minutes left. So as we now get to the conclusion of it, quick, how do we remove that wall? Because we all agree emotional availability is key for the stability of the relationship. But then how do we remove that wall? How do we fix it so that we feel emotionally taken care of from both men and from the women's perspective?
Listen, as long as a man is taking care of you, let me tell you something, as long as a man is taking care of you, it's not a hard thing to take care of him. Let me tell you, it goes, ukweli, if a man is doing everything, no, listen guys, wacha nikwambie, unajua ni nini? Wacha tu nikuwe tu real, because, wacha nikwambie Safin, mwanaume amefanya hizo vitu zote wametaja, amelipa school fees, amelipa rent, amefanya nini? So, mbona ifike time ya kubai gas? Gas ni kitu ya kumpigia nimwambia sort.
Cutie, bu ongea kwa kamera.
Unanielewa? Mwanaume amelipa rent, si ndio? Amelipa school fees, watu wao wako in the best schools. Amebuy uniform, so utu tuishi tudogo ati salon, ati mimi nimeka kwa salon mimi QT na mtext naanza kumpe pressure ati nitumie do salon. Why should I do that? Why am I not taking care of these other things that zimebaki, kitu kama food? Anafaa kuja apate food iko kwa meza time mwenyewe.
So you're saying women can take care of this
women can take care of this small stuff as long as unachiki mwanaume ashanionyesha cheki. Set bar. I'm the man of the house, I'm going to take care of ABCD. Why don't I do, you know, like EF, you know, whatever. At the end of the day, let that man show me leadership. CJ kwa hii show anasema, hey,
look good for that.
Look good. Alafu next month akikosa, January akikosa, mimi mwenyewe namwambia, hey babe, God take that shave by the way. Hata mimi mwenyewe I take care of him, because they talk about leadership. As long as a man ameonyesha leadership kwa hiyo nyumba, let me tell you, as a woman, you will never hear those small issues they are talking about. Ati salon, ati sijui gas imeisha, sijui tokens zimeisha. Mwanaume akisha kwa hiyo mwanaume nyenye wanasema naonyeshe hiyo leadership, hatutawahi ongea vitu zingine zote kwa hiyo nyumba. So it has to come from the man, then from that. No, that's the truth, because unasikia vile Ken anasema ati udem kuna vitu anataka. Mimi sitaki hizo vitu.
Na mwanaume wa aina gani?
Ni lazima huyo mwanaume itoke kwake, ashaonyesha leadership, ashaonyesha yeye ni otero. Pia mimi niko hapa by his side doing all these other things, because even me, I want to show this man that, babe, I can take care of us. When things go bad, when things go south, by the time, and let me tell you that notion, mwanaume anajuanga, they know this woman will take care of us when we are not doing good. But ukiona mwanaume anajificha akwambie, akujia akwambie, hey babe, by the way, you see, ati tuko na ingori, the reason why he will not tell you that is because he knows you're not capable of taking care of that thing. Unaelewa? But kama mwanaume wako anakuaminia, atakuja na akwambie, because anajua already vitu haziendi vizuri, na anajua you have the capacity of handling such kind of issues. So men out there, tafadhali usiogope kuonyesha your woman emotion. We will not judge you, we will not reject you, we will not nini. Kwanza itanifanya nikupende hata zaidi. Ati wewe ni CEO pale, lakini ukikuja kwa hao, you become my baby. That is hiyo ndio tunataka, by the way.
Mimi naweza taka kufanya research on QT actually.
It is the ideal.
Not ideal.
She's such a gem.
Proverbs 31.
Ken.
Mimi nitasema tu hivi. When you see a man not communicating, the worst you can do is to withdraw. and withdraw. Sometimes women use the lack of communication as a reason to withdraw intimacy. Wrong. Two wrongs don't make a right. Yeah? You cannot see him withdrawn and you want to go further. Sometimes your presence is enough and don't say anything. Because again, women don't understand how a man can keep quiet without talking. Sometimes it is that introspection that is making him become better. So your presence will be okay. And if you cannot be present and be peaceful, please by all means leave kidogo. As QT has said, take care of the bills that are simple and you can afford. But don't just take care of your own. Unasikia ati naweza jipeleka salon. Mwambie najua ni tarehe ngapi na niko na 3K hapa. Enda ufuel. Actually, to a man, it would make more sense to give him that money to go and fuel than to come and tell him, nilienda salon na nimelipa. You know, that is more mono.
Benefit.
Yeah, ni yako. Of course, we will appreciate at least finally, sijaitishwa. But what would it mean if ati unajua insurance yake ni ya macho, mwambie niko na 10K utaongezea zako za insurance. It makes it more of a partnership in that marriage.
Nisikia tuanze conversations za insurance. Well, wachana na hizo CJ.
Well, I like what Ken has brought in, because I had this thought that, for example, somebody has said to you that they're not in a good space. It would really make them feel better if you went and worked out elsewhere, because you're saying, I understand where you are at, not putting the pressure and the demand. Right. Because then they will feel you're trying to get them to become better. You're trying to support them. You're easing off the pressure. And that for men is what emotional care looks like. When you help them handle the things that bring the pressure to them. Because most of our emotional breakdowns and all this suicide, most of them have to do with finances. For most men, it has to do with finances. So when you increase the pressure on the financial side, you're actually hurting this man. But if you can say, okay, well, you said you didn't have money, so what I did is I talked to my sister. I got this from her. We need to pay it back to give you some time. What you're telling this man is, I care about your emotions. Okay. It's now not just finances. Okay. It is that I wanted you to get relief from the pressure that you had. So it's a give and take. Yeah.
Thank you, CJ. Wow. I wish we had part 2 ya hiki but time imetufikisha hapo. We hope that you've learned. We hope that at least tunaelewana sasa. Hata kama tujaelewana sana, tumeanza kuelewana, both women and men, when it comes to emotional presence, emotional availability. That was our topic today. Asante sana for creating time. Let's do this again next Tuesday. My name is Safin Acheng Oma.